Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Film Optics, brought to you by the Drive-In Podcast Network, where we discuss film, TV, and everything pop culture related. I'm your host, Christian, and I'm joined by one of my co-hosts and my good friend, Devin. Dude, how has your week been? Because mine has been like excruciatingly long.
Mine was okay.
Mm,
It's Saturday though. That's all that matters.
yeah.
We made it.
Woo! We did it, Devin. We're here. It's Saturday. Talking movies, video games, TV, all that good stuff.
I started watching MODOK last night.
Oh, did you really?
It's pretty funny.
Okay. Like I do want to watch it. I'm just not a fan of like the robot chicken like animation. But I mean, apparently, I think you had sent me a article once, and it was like, oh yeah, it's it's like the best Marvel show since like Daredevil. I was like, wow, okay, that is some high praise. So I don't know, but yeah, man, I got a haircut a few days ago. Been nice, looking fresh. Wasn't able to join the Geekly Goods crew this past weekend. Something that came up, but on this past week, but. Yeah, did you get Cruella or not? I wasn't sure. I thought
No.
okay. Because yeah, I forgot I asked for it. I was like, oh, so it's been sitting in my inbox. I gotta watch that. But what you been playing anything fun or just just watching MODOK?
Yeah, a new game came out called Knockout City. It's like a dodgeball game. It's pretty fun.
I think that's on Game Pass. I was gonna try it out on there. I got like 3 months for free, so I was gonna try it out there. It does look like a lot of fun because I remember Ethan and a few of our other friends were playing it a few weeks ago. I think it was in beta then. So, but yeah, man, we got E3 around the corner. It's back, baby.
That's the good old days.
The good old days, man. I remember when they used to broadcast E3 on XPlay, like way back, and I was like, man, I miss that. So hopefully, I'm sure G4 has been reborn. For those of you who don't know, G4 TV has been reborn as another gaming social gaming outlet. So might have to tune into theirs this time, kind of get the old feelings back there. But yeah, man, I've been bought an Xbox Series X, so that's a lot of fun. Been playing some on Mass Effect Legendary Edition, and been trying out a few games here or there. I mean, the first game I downloaded 100%. Was Fable Anniversary.
Of course.
Downloaded Fable 1, 2, and 3. We're all there. Got it really is like I don't know, it's good stuff. Like, I mean, I know like, some people are like, oh, why do you need a console if you have a PC? It's like, yeah, I have a PC. I could hop on and play with my friends whenever I want. But it's I don't know what it is, but like I'm liking it a little bit more than my PlayStation. Like my PS5 is definitely just gonna be an exclusive machine. Because like anything else that I buy, like I want to try Outriders as well. But like anything else that I buy, like third party, of course, obviously Xbox exclusives, which we'll get into a little bit later on. That'll definitely be on my my Xbox Series X and or PC. We'll see. So yeah, man. So let's before we dive in, we have a lot to talk about today. A lot of Warner Brothers news before we get into our Army of the Dead review. Again, this is the Film Optics podcast. And before we begin today's show, you can listen to our podcast on platforms around the internet and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Film Optics. That is Optics with an X for all of our latest announcements. So let's just dive straight in. We got a few quick fire news topics here, and then we'll get into our Army of the Dead review. We've been waiting for that one for a while. Devin was lucky enough to fortunate enough to see it last week. I could have went to see it, but it was just too far out of the way. way too far out of the way for me. So I did get a screener like 2 days before it released. So thank you, Netflix. But let's just jump right into our main topics. The first one's kind of quick. We have so there's a new movie coming out to Netflix called Gunpowder Milkshake, dropping on Netflix July 14th, and stars Karen Gillan, Lena Headey, Angela Bassett, and Carla Guingo. I'm sorry, but that's literally the way it looks like. And I do apologize for butchering her last name. But yeah, we had a nice little a poster leaked out for us. So
this movie looks very aesthetically pleasing. Like the posters and even the name itself is just like pleases the eyes.
Yeah, I think this is the project that Karen Gillian was hinting at a few months back. So a little quick synopsis: 3 generations of women fight back against those who could take everything from them. And the mother of all action movies. Ooh, nice little action film. It's been a while. Well, I guess we had Those Who Wish Me Dead last week, which I have yet to watch. But you know, I always gotta watch the Angelina Jolie movie. You know,
she's back.
She's back. Is she? Did you watch it? Yeah, you watched it. Okay. I'll definitely have to check it out.
It's been a while. I don't know where she went. I guess she had kids, and now they're probably old enough.
Oh yeah, you know, you definitely have to take a break after a while. So it's like, I can only imagine. But so moving on here, there's a lot of Warner Brother like HBO news in our feed today. So we do apologize. It just seems that we're going to be talking about that for a bit, and we have a few other news topics here. But looks like Warner Media and Discovery merger has happened or is happening. AT&T announces a $43 billion deal to merge Warner Media with Discovery. Not the first company I would have thought that Warner Media would absorb or AT&T would absorb yet again. But I don't know, Devin, what are your thoughts about this? Because I'm still processing this and I don't know what this means, but I wanted to get your thoughts on what you think it means.
It feels pretty desperate from both sides. I mean, Discovery Plus, like, who's even thinking about that service? Like, let alone buying it. Like, I feel like who's actually, like, I know it comes free with some stuff, but who's actually purchasing Discovery Plus?
Well, apparently my mom wants Discovery Plus like really, really bad, and she keeps asking me about it, and I'm like, I keep just like pushing it off. I'm like, you don't need Discovery Plus. There's nothing on there besides that. What's that one show that's like really, really good? Oh my gosh, Not Me Before You. That's a movie. It has my God, it's a show that's been running on there for a while. It's all about. I'm literally blanking on it right now, and I do apologize. But it's I don't really know what to feel about this, and I do agree it does feel more of a desperate move. I mean, I know that like HBO Max doesn't have the same caliber exclusives that like you would find on Disney Plus, and Netflix is hit or miss sometimes, but Netflix is still in the game there, or even Hulu, or now with even Amazon with Invincible and Lord of the Rings that are coming up. It just seems very I don't know. I just don't know what to think of it. I did a little bit more digging. It does look like the WB Games will split ownership. And the sale does include DC Comics. Discovery now owns DC Comics with Warner Brothers. And Rooster Teeth, if you're not sure, they are a part of the Warner Media, like AT&T family. They do a lot of like pop culture, like video game stuff. I believe Alana Pierce was a part of their team for a while, and also like the Inside Gaming crew as well. I'm not sure you know what that is. That used to be like, I think they were like Machinima like ages ago, but they are also a part of that deal. So they have their own like online presence. So it's very strange because it also looks like Warner Media and Discovery plan to spend more on content than Netflix did last year. And that's pretty interesting. So it looks like
we saw that HBO is towards the bottom of the list of all the streaming service wars last week.
R.I.P.
It feels like they're just kind of panicking a little bit and making moves just to kind of stay in the news cycle.
Yeah. And like, I mean, they have been saying, I mean, you know, we'll get to that in a bit because they dropped a lot of other stuff, but like none of it really has to do with like Discovery. So I guess last year Netflix spent around $17 billion on content, and Warner Media, they want to spend around 20 million, it looks like. So I just don't know what this really means for the company, because I do agree that it does feel like they're panicking, because I honestly feel like it's because of what happened with possibly the Snyder Cut, even though, like, yeah, I would love to see, that continue, but I'm not exactly clamoring for it, because they do, like, and we saw earlier this year that they do have a lot of things in the works. Obviously the Suicide Squad, we have Static Shock. There was a few others on there that aren't really coming to mind as of right now, but it looks like they have things going on, and we'll get into that here. But yeah, like, anything else you wanted to touch on with that? I didn't want to go too deep into it. I know it's like one of the bigger news topics, but it's like, from everything that we really care about, when it comes to video games and DC Comics. So now we know that Discovery now co-owns DC Comics with Warner Brothers, and will split the Warner Brother Games ownership. But I don't know, like, anything else you kind of wanted to. I just don't know what this is going to be like. It's going to be strange.
It's weird.
Like, just Discovery Plus, like, really? Like, they have so much property themselves. Like, I don't think this acquisition even needed to be made. It is very, very odd, because I'm not saying that it couldn't it can't work, but there's a bunch of stock numbers and stuff, which we're of course not going to get into. But apparently, one of the exec were blindsided about this decision. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man, I love Warner Brothers. I love their properties. I just wish they would kind of get more in with, in tune with, like, they have so much already. Like, from Looney Tunes to, DC Comics, you have Harry Potter and everything else. I'm actually surprised Lord of the Rings, that show's not coming on HBO Max. I don't know if Warner Brothers owns the property anymore, but then again, they are on HBO Max as of right now. And the extended editions are as well. So I'm not entirely sure where the whole legal battle is for that. But anyway, let's move on here. Moving on for more Warner Brothers news. It looks like Bad Boys for Life filmmakers are set to direct a Batgirl movie for HBO Max. I don't know if this is going to be animated. I highly doubt it, but since it is the Bad Boys for Life film bro directors. But yeah, was it 2020 when Bad Boys for Life came out? They closed the deal to, I guess, so this is going to be Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, who is the daughter of Police Commissioner James Gordon, of course. But
didn't they also get Ms. Marvel, that directing duo?
I think so. Or now it's called them. Oh no, Miss Marvel. Yeah, sorry, the TV show. I believe so.
Yeah, Bad Boys for Life definitely impressed some people, because
it did.
People weren't expecting anything, and it kind of was pretty good.
And now they're making another one. I was like, what is going on, Devin? I don't understand.
Well, it was good, so might as well.
But like, yes, it was good. But I just don't want them to be reactionary with this, because that's how, like, when Spider-Verse came out and everyone loved like the animation, Sony tried to like patent that comic book style of animation, and I don't know who, the powers that be said no, because that's such a open source, like general source that everybody uses, or common knowledge, or general property of that sort. So I'm excited, because I do love Batgirl. There is another Batgirl as well, but this one's going to be centered around Barbara Gordon. But I just don't want it to be reactionary with it, but we'll definitely see. I think Miss Marvel comes out this year anyway, so I guess we'll see how they do with that. But this next topic, me and Devin actually had we're split down the middle. We talked about this earlier this week. Some more HBO Max news. So for those of you who don't know, HBO Max will be adding a new tier to their HBO Max streaming service. So it's going to be a ad-supported tier, will include, within their streaming service.
And we both think that's stupid.
I think differently only for a specific reason, but
HBO just should not have ads. Like they never have.
they shouldn't have ads. That I do agree. I don't know why they're making an ad support tier, but I do understand it's like if you're going to make an ad support tier and a non-ad support tier, there has to be a difference in not quality, but I guess content, which we haven't.
No one else has.
I honestly don't know, Devin. From what I understand, so for the HBO Max ad support, it is $10 a month, $9.99. It will not include any of the Warner Brother 2021 same day movie premiere slates, and I think that end with ads. It is weird, but I guess for the listeners out there, Devin's heard this before. For me, it's more of okay, they decided to put their entire 2021 theatrical slate on HBO Max for this year only due to the pandemic. My reasoning is okay, besides ads, which is weird. I will admit I don't know why they're doing that because HBO has never had ads ever. And it's all about the money at the end of the day. But my reasoning is, if you pay an extra $5, since that theatrical slate wasn't originally intended to even be on HBO Max, it's more of like an added bonus, which is getting kind of into like the
that's
video game realm.
Interesting precedents.
It is, and like
because no other streaming service does that. Like Hulu, Paramount, they have plus versions that are ad free, but it's all the same content.
That's true. So would you be more upset, or not upset, but would it make more sense for them to remove the ad support tier, still have the $9.99 and the $15 a month? And so like if they removed the whole, ad supported tier, then $10 a month, it just didn't come with those theatrical releases. Would that make sense to you?
Well, either way, I still think it's not very smart just because that's the main selling point of HBO right now. So what reason would anybody have to get that tier?
I will. Okay. So because when HBO Max first came out, I will say a lot of people did complain about the $14.99 price, saying that it was too much, even though Netflix, if you're paying for like the 4K streaming package where you can stream like 4 screens at once, you're paying like $21 already for that. But I think that's where it comes into. But I mean, I will say it is a bit odd, but I can understand why they're doing it. But it is weird that they're even supporting ads to begin with, because it's like we
mentioned before, it just seems like they're panicking. They're just throwing all this stuff out and seeing if it works.
Yeah, and that is the weird part, because it's HBO. Like, you don't have to do anything. Just give us good content.
They're the definition of reactive.
They are much like man. We've seen this in the gaming industry for a very, very long time. With microtransactions, then the whole battle royale, phase and whatnot. It has just been crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I thought about it, I was like, okay, it is weird, but I get it at the same time. It's like why is Sony supposedly releasing a PlayStation 5 remake of The Last of Us when we already have had a few updates for the PS4 version that's also shown on the PlayStation 5. The game still runs very well. It's already at 60 FPS. The only other thing I can think of is them trying to like make it consistent. Like, let's update like the game mechanics and whatnot like that. But it's like, I get why they're doing it, but at the same time, I don't. And I feel like it's the same thing with Warner Brothers. It's like, I see what you're doing, trying to give people that premium experience with different tiers. I know I've seen some people say, Disney locks content behind a $30 paywall, which is true. It's a little bit different, but I do see where people are coming from with that, because if you do want that, let's say Black Widow, if you're not in the film industry, if you're not a film critic, you don't receive a screener or what have you, your two other choices is to A, see it in theaters, which is probably what we'll do anyway, or B, pay $30 to watch it at home, which some people might, but I don't know, man. This whole HBO Max thing is very, very strange. And I do agree. The whole thing, it just feels very reactionary. I think them and Universal are definitely like the number 2 spots for like reactionary movie studios. But let's move on here. We have some more Warner Brothers.
This is a DC Warner Brothers podcast.
Yeah, DC. Yeah, I mean that is how we keep the lights on. The fridge full of cold hard cash in there. So it's it's great stuff, man. I absolutely love it. They pay us well. We haven't worked our actual job in weeks. We just sit home and watch movies all day. It's great.
Got those Snyder bucks.
Yeah, man. I mean, like they're sending us Blu-ray copies of Zack Snyder's Justice League and whatnot. And I actually do want to get that, but I don't think it's available in the US yet. So I know the UK is, but I'm not a fan of the box art. It's just like everyone's like single hand, like
yeah, that's weird.
Someone like cropped Batman's, like they cropped out his Batarang with like $100 bills. I have money. You can do anything with money. But yeah, let's move on here. We have a new animated series, My Adventures with Superman. It's in the works at HBO Max. And we have Jack Quaid, who will be voicing Superman.
Yeah, let's get him some more roles.
Yeah.
Our boy.
Oh, he's one of those people where you didn't realize that that Dennis Quaid was like his father, and it's like, oh my God, really? Like I
saw the last name and I was like, okay, so Dennis Quaid is his father.
I guess it was like
no one else has that last name.
That is true. That is very true. But it looks like not one, but 2 seasons have been ordered from HBO Max. And it's going to be on Cartoon Network as well. So I believe we have My Adventures of Superman follows the adventures of Superman and Lois Lane. The animated series features 20-somethings Clark Kent and the bright and driven Lois Lane, who is voiced by Alice Lee from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, the actress over there, and their best friend Jimmy Olsen, as they begin to discover who they are and everything they can accomplish together and investigate as investigative reporting team at the Daily Planet. So it sounds pretty interesting. I'm all for it. Like I said before, I say a million times again, I love animated TV shows, films, whatnot. It seems like a very interesting premise. This came out of the blue from this week. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Any thoughts?
Yeah, sounds interesting. We might give it a shot.
All right.
I'm sure you saw that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson news that came out as well. He's got another role in the DC universe.
I forgot.
His lovable America's favorite voice, America's sweetheart. He's going to be the voice of Crypto the Superdog.
Oh, that's right, Crypto. I think it's Crypto.
Yeah, Crypto the Superdog.
Yeah, Krypton's the planet.
Because there's going to be a Super Pets TV show.
Yeah, that's what I saw. I was like, oh my God. I don't hate The Rock. I'm just so annoyed. This man is everywhere. That damn smile.
He hasn't even been in a movie this year.
He hasn't. Well, technically Disney's Jungle Cruise.
That's not out yet.
That's true. Well, is it done, or is it just they haven't released it? When is that supposed to come out, by the way?
I have no idea.
I kind of want to see it just because for Emily Blunt, not for The Rock. How can
you not love that voice? I mean, Moana, come on.
Okay. If I ever met The Rock, I do not hate The Rock at all. It's just that this man is everywhere. Like
he deserves it. He's earned it.
So do you think him or Dave Bautista is the better wrestler turned actor?
Well, The Rock, he's done more.
Well,
Dave Bautista is getting more prestige roles, like he had Blade Runner, and he
was really good.
He's getting some more roles coming up, like he's in Knives Out 2, which is pretty big.
Army of the Dead. We'll be talking on that.
Dwayne just has more under his belt currently.
But does that necessarily mean that he's the better one? Like,
I mean, it's all been successful.
Is it quality versus quantity, or is it quantity over quality? We'll see. I mean, okay. It says okay.
They're similar. But.
Yeah. I got you. I got for sure. I mean, I would probably put The Rock over Dave Bautista just because. I mean, I do like Dave Bautista's Drax. I feel like they went a little bit overboard with his character in Volume 2. Like he was just laughing at everything. I'm like, okay, like not It's not that funny. Well, like, it's funny, but you don't have to watch, laugh at everything. But anyway, yeah, so we have that. And then thank you for that. I swear every single time we record a podcast, Devin has some kind of rock news.
He's in the news. His show just wrapped up, Young Rock.
Yeah. I mean, if The Rock ever ran for president, I would vote for him. Absolutely. Like 100%. I'm just tired of seeing this man smile everywhere I go. I don't know what it is, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on here. We have another animated series in the works for HBO Max. We have Batman, the animated series from J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves, coming to HBO Max.
That's exciting.
That is very exciting.
It's a good duo there.
Yeah, I'm like very, very excited for this. The Powerhouse directors, along with the DC Animated Universe veteran Bruce Timm, have received a straight-to-series order for its title Batman Caped Crusader for HBO Max and Cartoon Network. The series is billed as a reimagining of the Batman mythology. So I believe J.J. Abrams says here, we are beyond excited to be working together to bring this character back to tell engrossing new stories in Gotham City. Said J.J. Abrams. The series will be thrilling, cinematic, and evocative of the Batman's noir roots, while diving deeper into the psychology of these iconic characters. We cannot wait to share this new world. So very, very excited. For Abrams and Reeves, they've worked on a Facility and 10 Cloverfield Lane, and it's going to be great. We have for Tim, Bruce Timm, he's going to be returning into the animated world. For those of you who don't know, he had pretty much helped build the DC animated universe with Batman the Animated Series, which is now streaming on HBO Max, and I believe it is out on Blu-ray as well. It's fan-freaking-tastic. I absolutely love that show, and I've been meaning to get back to it, but trying to cut down, trying to get through other things first. But what are your thoughts about this, Devin? Have you seen the original animated series?
Not all of it, but some of it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to this, though.
Oh, for sure. I don't know. I can't remember how many seasons the first one is, the original. But yeah, I never watched it all the way through, but I did watch it a good amount growing up. But no, I haven't. I know I haven't seen every single episode, but that's all right. Anyway, we're officially done with the HBO news here. And now it's time to get on to some Sonic news, some Sonic.
It feels like Sonic is Warner, but it's not. So, is it Universal?
Universal, I believe, or is it Paramount? I think it's Universal.
Yeah, it might. I don't know.
So Sonic 2, Sonic 2 movie that will be dropping. The plot has leaked by, yep, you guessed it, United States Copyright Office.
Sure.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible stuff. If you want to click on the link, you can. I've been told that it is the plot line from Sonic 3, the video game. So if you've played Sonic the Hedgehog 3, you already know. I haven't clicked on the link yet, but you can if you want to, Devin. It's totally up to you. I just put that there.
All I know is that Jim Carrey needs to be in this movie.
Oh, he has to.
Because he carried the first one on his back.
He really, yeah. Every like line of dialogue and every single interaction he had with everyone in that world, especially Sonic, it was amazing. Like, I will watch Sonic 2 for him alone. We have been confirmed that, of course, Tails will be in Sonic 2 and Knuckles as well. Still no word on Shadow, though. Shadow the Hedgehog, our guy, our super edgy teenage angst hedgehog. Edgelord. The equivalent of Anakin Skywalker from Revenge of the Sith. But yeah, what are your thoughts about this? Will you click on this link later on? It doesn't have to be right now because we're not going to talk about it on the podcast, of course.
Nah, I don't have any reason to.
I can't believe this happened, though. Like, really? Like, the United States Copyright Office, the Office of the United States Copyright Association?
Wild times.
I mean, it makes me wonder how leaks actually happen because someone obviously deliberately did not even this, just things in the past that we've seen, especially with like video games or even, when Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think it was like the week before when people played Tom and Jerry, it would start up Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's like somebody clearly messed up. Like that doesn't just happen, but it is what it is. Let's get into our last quick news topics here. A little bit of gaming news here for everyone. Microsoft and Bethesda, the two monolith companies that are now one, a duality in the force, if you will host a joint E3 conference this year. So,
which should be a surprise to no one.
Exactly.
Microsoft spent all that money and people were like, oh, they'll just share all the games nicely with everybody.
No, I'm sorry. But it's smart because Microsoft, it's like they're going around. It's like, oh, well, it's like we're multi-plat, quote unquote, between PC, Xbox, and on the cloud, just not on competitor platforms. But of course, there are other deals that are in motion, like Fort Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, which has been getting pretty good reactions so far from what I've seen. Microsoft will honor those deals, and those will be timed exclusives on PlayStation 5 first. But we have Matt Booty, who heads up Xbox Game Studios, reportedly told French publication Le Figaro that the event would take place in a few weeks. Of course, it's going to be E3 2021 is going to be running around the same time as Summer Games Fest, but I believe Summer Games Fest will be running the entire summer. E3 is I think it starts on like June 12th, I believe. And we also had Jeff Grubb earlier this year. He kind of just came out and said that, Starfield is going to be an Xbox exclusive on their platforms. But so this event, Microsoft announced that in March, with the acquisition of ZeniMax Media, which includes Bethesda for that $7.5 billion deal, that so they're going to be doing that joint E3 conference. I believe it's going to be in the Microsoft studio across from E3. They're still going to be on E3, but it's like it's their own studio. They can, they don't have to pay all this money to set up, just to like reserve a slot. So I'm sure that they had to pay something to be a part of the actual event, but not renting out the venue when they have their own. So it's going to be great. Like I'm very, very excited for this. So we're just waiting for that sweet Xbox and PC news. So let's move on to our last topic here before we get into our Army of the Dead review. This is just a little quick announcement. The Last of Us Part 2, there is a performance patch that is dropped for the PlayStation 5, which is fan-freaking-tastic. Been waiting for this for a while. It pretty much gives you a quote-unquote unlocked frame rate or targeted 60 FPS, I should say, because that's how they are marketing it, with a few extra bells and whistles. And it looks like they are teasing a few more updates for the PlayStation 5 update. So I'm definitely going to dive back into that because I've been waiting to replay it with a PlayStation 5 update. So it's really nice how they actually just push out an update instead of making people pay for something that people shouldn't have to pay for, especially if you own the game already. But yeah, that pretty much concludes all of our news topics from this week. So Devin, let's get into our Army of the Dead review really quick. Before we do, we're going to do just a little bit of a non-spoiler section for those who haven't seen the movie yet. And then we'll get into our deep dive, our thoughts. So once you hear this, that means we're going to get into spoilers, but
it's on Netflix. Just watch it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's about, I think the runtime is around 2 hours and 20 minutes. So, and is of course directed by Zack Snyder and written by Zack Snyder and Shay Hatten. And cast includes a few familiar faces here. We have Bautista, Ella Purnell, and Ana de la Reguera. And of course, like Devin already mentioned, it is on Netflix, and it has released on Netflix, on the 21st. I don't know why I said that twice, but anyway, let me read the synopsis and let's just get into our initial reactions, and we'll Yeah, we'll go from there. So anyway, the story is as followed. Following a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries take the ultimate gamble, venturing into a quarantine zone to pull off the greatest heist ever attempted. Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Very, very interesting concepts.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the video where Zack Snyder was talking about it. He was like, it's just the perfect, easiest elevator pitch. Just a zombie heist movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I can definitely understand that. He's been doing a few interviews on the Lights Camera Barstool podcast. He was also on the post credit podcast as well. Did a shorter interview over there. But he actually did reveal that the reason why for Justice League, his version of his cut of Justice League, the reason why they didn't go with a TV an episodic release is, I guess there was like legality issues with that. So I was like, that's interesting. So I guess we have our answer. But yeah, Devin, so tell me about your thoughts of the movie. You saw it a week before I did. So
yeah. Well, did you ever watch Dawn of the Dead?
No.
The mall one?
Is this a sequel to that one, or is it?
No, but it's also Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And apparently he wrote this like right after that, so it's been a while.
Oh, okay.
But that Dawn of the Dead was really good as well. This dude definitely knows how to make zombie movies. Like he's got that down for sure. Maybe not everything else perfectly, but
yeah, I can definitely say it is a nice it's a breath of fresh air that we get to see Zack Snyder outside of the superhero realm, because I'm not gonna lie, it's getting a little bit exhausting. Like this,
when he gets his own IP to work with, like he doesn't have to worry about pleasing
continuities,
annoying fans.
Yeah, when I watched it, I had a few friends over. We watched it together. I do want to watch it again. Actually, I planned on watching it before we recorded it again, but yesterday did not go as planned. But it was. I really did enjoy it. I did feel like it was a tad too long.
You could say that about any Zack Snyder movie ever.
Yeah, that is like, I feel like if this was like a good, like, I think it was shaved off like 10 minutes, it would have been perfect.
It could have shaved off a half hour. This movie's 2.5 hours.
Yeah. This put in that 2 hour slot, maybe like hour 56 or something like that. But I will say the very ending, we'll get into that later, made no sense to me whatsoever, like 0 sense. And I know a few people I've talked to about that, but I thought it was a fun ride, man. Like it was a breath of fresh air. Like we said,
especially for something like a zombie movie where we've had so many of them, it's nice to see like different creative ways to make zombies. Like they're not just all the same. Oh, we're gonna be slow zombies. Oh, we're gonna be fast zombies. Like there's different kinds.
Yeah, there's different tiers, of course, and we see throughout this movie that the intellect of these creatures have grown exponentially.
Yeah, it's scary when they have brains.
Yeah, and I know that there was like a little bit of a YouTube event where they showed like the first 15 minutes of the movie. I did not watch it just because I understand why they do that, but it's not my preferred way to experience a movie for the first time. Even if I were to see it in theaters, even if I was watching it at home at Netflix, it's like I don't want my first experience to watch it like on YouTube or like Twitter. You know what I mean? So it's like you want to get that full experience. But I thought it was great. Dave Bautista was fantastic. The entire ensemble did a really, really great job. There's a lot of there's some little bit of tear-jerking moments here and there. Zack Snyder again loves his slow-mo scenes. So, but I'm trying to figure out what else I can say without spoiling it. Was there anything else you wanted to mention before we dive into spoilers?
Well, I had a couple issues that I thought came up. One of them was, I think the movie could have used another star, just like one more like noteworthy like star actor. Like everyone did fine, but it felt like there was just something missing, like just one more, because Dave Bautista is great. If you could have had someone by his side.
The Rock.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it for the sequel.
Or Kevin Hart, possibly. He actually.
And I was also very impressed at how they replaced Chris D'Elia in this movie, because obviously he had some terrible allegations against him because he's a terrible person, just like his You character.
Oh, that's right. Man, these celebrities nowadays, man, they're crazy.
But I don't know how they did it, but they completely replaced him with Tig Notaro, using CGI, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if only that company did the Superman mustache, things might be different.
Or what was it? With Will Smith and what was that movie called?
Gemini Man.
Oh my gosh, that movie. I've only seen clips of it. Like I couldn't. But yeah, I do agree. It feels like it was a great ensemble cast. It like watching this movie just overall, it did feel like it was missing something, and maybe it was an extra person. I honestly can't put my I can't put my finger on it. Like I said, I need to watch it again to form like my final opinion. But as of right now, it was very, very entertaining. You know, I like the dialogue that they had back and forth between Bautista and his daughter. And the ending was just a bit of but like it's okay. So we know it's a heist movie, and everyone out there listening, you know, since this is a heist movie, you know, people are going to die. But and I really like how the trailer kind of just shows you the world. It doesn't, you know, show you like, oh, well, you know, so-and-so said, that person said, this person said. It kind of just, you know, it's almost like a fun roller coaster, you know, the vibey Vegas, you know, neon lights and whatnot. All the zombies are in. It's
just all of it just comes together. Like the location of Vegas for zombies, that's perfect. The idea of a heist film in zombies, that's fresh and new. Like it all just comes together well.
Yeah, and the premise is so simple. Like you don't really have to think about too much about what's going on. Like it's not like a turn your brain off kind of movie, but it's like, you know, you get the premise from the very beginning of the movie. It's like, okay, like this is what the movie is. There's no, you know, like, oh, you know, if you didn't read this or if you didn't watch this, you wouldn't know who X, Y, and Z character is. So I really applaud Zack Snyder for doing that. And you know, I was listening to the LCB Lights Camera Bar Stool podcast interview, and like he's like he had free reign. Like, you know, he seems like he had a really great time, you know, making this movie and just, you know, finally being able to, you know, exercise his creative freedoms and his
and this is actually really good for Netflix as well, because they've been looking for a movie franchise. That's something they don't really have.
Yeah,
like a central movie franchise that they can lean on. So there's already been announced a prequel movie,
really
starring Dieter. Dieter was really good in this movie. He was hilarious.
Yeah, I think he was probably my favorite character, to be honest.
So he's getting a prequel movie, which is good. And I think there's also going to be an animated movie showing the some of the characters before the outbreaks or the beginning of the outbreak.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's already some spinoffs happening, and I'm sure there'll be a sequel too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure. And Zack has like a new deal with Netflix, does he not?
I think so.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's. I mean, honestly, hey, it's great. Like, I mean, it may not be the movies, but I mean, if you are going to do a deal with any of these streaming services, it would be Netflix, because as we've seen, you know, he was able to release it in select theaters a week early before its debut on Netflix, which, you know, since it came out this week on Netflix. So I actually thought that was smart. I mean, we saw with like Marriage Story did the same thing. The Irishman as well. So it's
Netflix puts up the money and gives you the creative freedom. So there's no reason not to.
Sounds like a dream come true, man. I wonder what this really says for just like the industry moving forward, because I mean, I don't think theaters are necessarily dying, but I think they are becoming more. They will evolve into more of an even niche audience, much like vinyl has with the music scene, because you know, you can either pay $10 a month, have Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or Spotify, and listen to everything you want, or you know, you want more of the physicality of like owning those discs. So it's, I mean, you know, living here in Music City, you know, there's always going to be a market for vinyl, but nowhere near as big. But I wonder what this really will, you know, pave the way for directors moving forward when it comes to streaming services. So that's pretty interesting. But let's get into enough of the pre-talk. Let's get into the weeds here. So we are going to be going into our spoiler section of not Dawn of the Dead. I do want to watch Dawn of the Dead, by the way.
You should. It's good.
I might see if they have it at McKay's today. Pick it up for a few bucks. It's a great place too. They have like movies, TV shows, vinyl records, and just a lot of other like random assortments too. So that's usually where I'll go there first before I go to like Amazon to see if they got it for like cheap, So it's a nice little store. It's like what was it? The Exchange growing up. It's like The Exchange, but 1,000 freaking times better. Like, I kid you not. It's amazing. But yeah, let's get into our spoiler review or spoiler section. Again, this is spoiler section. What was that?
I think I have delivery.
Ooh, I'm actually waiting on the delivery myself. So due for Xbox, since this is the 20th year of Xbox overall, November 15th will be the official day. But I got a nice little Xbox 20 coffee mug with my gamer tag on it. My new gamer tag. Retired the old Bale caveman. I don't know what I was thinking with that.
Yeah.
Man, oh man. But Devin's has been the same forever. But all right, let's get into the weeds here for our Army of the Dead spoiler section. So that ending made no sense. Like how
what about it?
Oh, he was
I didn't have any issues with the end.
He was stuck in he was locked inside the vault, the black guy. I'm blanking on his name right now, but I do apologize. He was in there for at least the last 20 minutes of the movie. And if he was bit that entire time, why did he not turn while he was in the vault? It doesn't make any sense. And then he's on a plane. He's like, "Oh, I'm not feeling well." I'm like, "Dude, you're in there for a while."
Well, I watched the heavy spoilers. He talked about it, and he mentioned that the reason that Dave Bautista's character turned into a zombie faster was because he was already on the brink of dying.
Huh. Sorry.
Because
no, you're fine.
His character, what's his name? Bander.
Yeah.
He was relatively healthy. Like, he got out, he was limping, but he wasn't dying.
But it's, I guess that was just one thing where it's like they didn't really explain how long it takes to turn into a zombie, because we saw Dave Bautista's wife, she had turned into a zombie. We don't really know how she was bitten, or what we just, we saw the flashback, the super slow-mo flashback, and we just saw her turning in. So it's like that is like the number one thing.
They didn't really show an example of it happening.
Yeah. Well, because some
fast or not fast.
Yeah, I guess so. Because it's some of the, during
that security guard that they took with them as the bait, basically. They show him got taken away, but they didn't show him transform.
I need to watch this movie again. Yeah.
We don't know how long it takes, really, but
yeah, because during the beginning of the movie, with the guys getting roadhead from his girlfriend, and
yeah, what an opening.
That was actually a really, really nice opening. I like how we had that. Well, that was that. Yeah, that was around the first within the first 15 minutes, how we had that nice little prequel part of just how everything started, which I really, really did appreciate. It wasn't just zombies appeared out of nowhere, and so it all came from.
Yeah, I like the idea that the government had this alpha zombie just in captivity.
But where the alpha zombie came from, that's the interesting part.
There are some interesting theories out there, because there's something else that happened later in the movie. Did you see the robot zombie?
No, I did not. Was that wait.
In the casino, there's a scene and a shot where they shoot a zombie's head and it reveals a robot head underneath.
Oh, see, yeah, like I said, I need to rewatch this today.
I remember seeing it in the theater, and I was like, that's weird. Maybe it's just how the bullet looked. But
yeah.
If you watch it, you can see it's definitely a robot head. So there's some theories that the government may have planted some zombies.
It's always a government conspiracy.
Who knows what it is? But yeah, there's robot zombies now.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely need to check out the heavy spoilers for that. So That definitely needs to happen for me. So it is, man, oh man. Yeah, so that was pretty much my only gripe. My main two gripes with it. Number one, I did feel like it was a bit too long, but like we said, this is a Zack Snyder film, so it's kind of like what you have to expect from him moving forward. But for him, this is kind of on the short-esque side. It was shorter than BVS.
I mean, 2.5 for a zombie movie, it's just
it is very
that's just
long.
much.
Yeah.
And I guess that's one of the other issues I have. Like every time there was an emotional moment when people were talking to each other and like it was supposed to be emotional and interesting, I kind of just looked at my phone and was not paying attention because I'm not watching a zombie action movie for emotional moments. Like, right. I'm just not.
Yeah. So me and my two friends who came over, we watched it a few days prior for hitting on Netflix. It was we definitely had side conversations. Like we weren't like necessarily looking at our phone. Well, one of my friends was. She was like, "What did I miss? What did I miss?" I'm like, "Well, you're looking at your phone, so I'm not rewinding it." So we're treating this just like the theatrical experience. Yeah. No pauses. Actually, we did pause it once because my other Parker actually came over to watch it with us. He had a phone call, so we had to pause it for a second. But hey, that's the beauty of streaming. Like I'm not gonna lie, that is definitely comes in handy. But yeah, I do agree that there were times where we were kind of having like side conversations as the movie was going on because there were just like very less interesting points where it was just I didn't really care too much about all like Dave Bautista's daughter.
I understand the character development they're trying for, but yeah, I'm just not here for that. I'm here for a fun, dumb zombie movie.
Yeah, but yeah, and the character like it was good. It just wasn't really needed, and it's like. Even with Dave Bautista's daughter in the film, she went off to look for her friend who like disappeared like a few nights before they went on the heist. I'm like, no,
by herself.
I'm like, I'm sorry, but like, I would not. And she goes off later on. I was like, what are you doing? Like, even if she is alive, it's like, is it even worth it? But that zombie tiger was pretty cool.
Zombie tiger was great. I liked like
the pregnant zombie.
They call them the shamblers, I think. Those are like the slow, like normal walking zombies, and then there's the alpha zombies, which are scary as hell and interesting because they have brains and they can ride zombie horses.
Literally, like
it's very badass.
Literally, the White Walkers, like in the summer, like pretty much. Yeah.
And then they have the hibernating zombies. I thought that was interesting too. Zombies that are just like in sleep mode until they get woken up. That was creepy.
And the ones that are like sleep during the day, pretty much like the nocturnal-esque one. Or it's like I think when water hits them or something like that, they like come alive. I thought that was pretty interesting.
But that scene is where my biggest issue came up. I kept thinking about it the whole movie, but when the guy who joins them who was working for the rich guy.
Yeah.
He joins them and they don't like it. And then he kills the one lady, basically. He traps her in a door.
Yeah.
And then she escapes from that, but then ends up dying. Why did she not tell them that he was betraying them?
Yeah.
She could have saved so much trouble.
And that was the antagonist. I was like, okay, like that was the only part. That part too, and I forgot to mention that. I was like, it wasn't very believable.
I kept thinking about that throughout the whole movie, though. Like he ends up screwing them over so many times, and they
no one says anything.
All of it. She just told her boyfriend or whatever. Like he's killing me. I'm dead.
Literally,
it's all that guy's fault. That's all you had to say.
No one opened their mouth for anything, like at all. I was like, okay, this is really, really weird. But overall, I really did enjoy it, and I'm glad. It is. Everyone that I've known that has seen it has enjoyed it. Minus a few people, which I totally understand because some people just don't like Zack Snyder films, and I've fallen to that camp a lot. So, but this one is it's definitely one of his better ones. Like we said, it is a breath of fresh air. And it does really just it's just nice to see something else from Zack Snyder that isn't superheroes, like overall. But so let's actually close out here because we are coming up on time. So Devin, what would you rate Army of the Dead that is now streaming on Netflix for the entire world to see.
I'm gonna give it a solid 75.
Okay.
C plus.
All right.
I think it's good, but not great. There's a few things that hold it back, like I mentioned. One more star definitely could have added to it, and also just some of the lapse in reality that happened. Like, just tell them that you're being screwed over by this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would actually give this like a solid C. Definitely give it a more of a like I would say like a 70, like 3, I would say. Just because I do feel like I need to watch this again. Because like, you know, we had said there were parts where I felt like I was kind of preoccupied with other things, and just, you know, the progression of the character, you know, the character development wasn't anything necessarily needed, as we stated before. And that ending just I just don't get it. I
didn't have any issues with the ending. They set themselves up for a few different options for a sequel.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, and it goes to show, like, I feel like, you know, trying to make a franchise out of this, like, it's like, you know, like throughout this entire conversation, like there's like a few characters that we knew the name of. Like, granted, we've only seen it once, but
that's one thing that the film did really well, is it set itself up for other sequels or prequels while also being its own contained story. Like, it didn't sacrifice its own story to set up other stories.
Yeah, it's not like he purposely made like a, you know, like, oh, there's going to be a sequel. Well, maybe he doesn't know, like, you know, in the back of his mind, he's like, well, maybe he doesn't know.
There's definitely setup for that, but it's not defining the movie.
Right. Yeah. And that's really what I like about it, to be completely honest. It can be its own story, like you said, without, and like, honestly, like if there wasn't anything else, you know, even with this prequel not coming out, like I would have been fine with just it being as is. So yeah. So that pretty much concludes our review and this podcast for this week for Army of the Dead. We're releasing this a little bit earlier this week on Saturday, just because why not, you know, get a little head start on the week here. But next week, Devin, we have A Quiet Place Part 2.
Finally.
Man, it's been forever. I have tickets for 2 days.
I got my ticket for Thursday.
I got my ticket for Thursday as well. Okay. Definitely have to, you know, and I think honestly for next week, you know, no news, just straight up A Quiet Place, this all the way through. You know, and I feel like I might watch Quiet Place Part 2 this weekend to get myself ready for next week. Because I'm just, there's no double feature. I checked on AMC that they're not doing like the double feature thing that I know of. Maybe it'll like pop up a few days before, but I'm still gonna keep my eye out for it. But I have it on Blu-ray, so I'll just watch it. I don't know where you can actually watch it for those who haven't seen the first one. Do you know if it's on any streaming service?
Let's take a look.
All right. But yeah, while Devin is looking that up, of course, you know, since we will be covering A Quiet Place Part 2 next week.
It's on FX now.
Oh my God. If anyone knows what that is, it's like
you can rent it from Prime for $2.99.
Okay, there you go. That's not bad. And I'm sure it's on Vudu as well. But yeah, if you have, like, if you're a physical collector, if you don't already own it, you know, definitely check out some like mom and pop shops out there. Also go on Blu-ray.com, because I go on there a lot for physical releases, and that's how I found out about the Umbrella Academy season 1 that will be dropping. Like right now, I just opened it up. Scott Pilgrim versus the World 4K. It takes you to different Amazon links. The 4K version of Scott Pilgrim versus the World is $20 right now. Same thing with here we go, Star Wars Return of the Jedi. It's $19.53, and they're all shipped and sold through Amazon as well. So, you know, if you get a bad copy, you can kind of just like hound them into getting you a new one as well. So yeah, Blu-ray.com, for those who don't know, like that is pretty much where I get all my like physical movie deals. There's Space Jam 4K UHD, of course. They're going to be doing that. Releasing out. It's going to be around like $24. Final Fantasy Advent Children's coming out in 4K. I don't really know if it's worth $24.49, but that's okay. But yeah, go to Blu-ray.com for all Blu-ray.com for all of you wonderful physical collectors as of myself. But yeah, so coming up on the Music City Drive-In side, for me, I will be covering E3. And maybe like the first day of Summer Games Fest, because I don't know how long it's going to be running alongside E3, and I'd rather just cover E3. But I know Sony is going to be at Summer Games Fest, but they will not be at E3, which is weird. But Xbox will also be a part of Summer Games Fest. But Nintendo is joining E3 this year, I believe, as well. So I'll be covering all that stuff over on the MusicCityDrive-In.com. We have Oscar talk, news, reviews, commentaries for other podcasts as well, and other great written pieces by the amazing staff over there as well. So check out MusicCityDrive-In.com. You can find us on there for all of our podcast episodes as well. So Devin, let's get out of here. And that's a wrap for today, everyone. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to check out the other podcasts over on MusicCityDrive-In.com and subscribe to our show so you never miss an episode. That was Devin. My name is Christian, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
And make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts so that we can see, what feedback we've had. We actually had a really great one. I actually wanted to kind of touch on that for a second. I don't know who this person is, but I was like, oh my gosh, they're just one of the nicest people, one of the nicest reviews we've actually gotten. Let me see if I can find it really, really quick. For some reason, I'm locked out of my Apple Podcast thing here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so this comes from Zero Dark Tooth Hurdy. They left us a 5-star review saying, if you're behind on current movies, this podcast can help with that. The hosts have a fun and dynamic time talking about film and with their passion and humor. I love that they cover a large variety of movies, so there's a little something for everyone. The spoiler-free sections are definitely appreciated. Christian is a cool guy and a calming presence. What are you waiting for? Give it a listen. So thank you very much. Thank you very much to Zero Dark Tooth Hurdy for that amazing comment. Like, seriously, thank you. That means the world to us. We're just out here, can't knock the hustle, just doing what we're trying to do. I don't know, but we'll see you guys next week.